Jimin is back, and this time, Chicago became the stage for a moment that fans will not forget. There are performances that entertain. There are performances that impress. And then there are performances that create a feeling that something truly special has just happened. Jimin's appearance in Chicago has sparked exactly that kind of reaction. From the moment he stepped into the spotlight, attention immediately turned toward him. His movements, his expressions, his confidence, and especially the way he carried himself on stage created an atmosphere that felt bigger than an ordinary concert moment. But what made this appearance particularly fascinating was not simply the dancing. It was the combination of dance, charisma, and fashion. Jimin has always been known for possessing a unique ability to make movement look effortless. Every gesture can feel deliberate, every turn can carry emotion, and every change in expression can communicate something without requiring a single word. In Chicago, that quality appeared to reach another level. The stage became more than a place for choreography. It became a canvas. And Jimin appeared to understand exactly how to use it. As the lights changed and the crowd responded, his movements seemed to become increasingly confident. What looked like a simple dance sequence transformed into a visual performance filled with energy and precision. For Army watching from the audience and around the world, it was difficult not to focus on him. The atmosphere in Chicago was already intense. But once Jimin appeared, the energy seemed to rise again. There is something distinctive about Jimin's performance style. He does not rely only on power. He combines control with softness. He can deliver a sharp movement and immediately follow it with something elegant. He can appear incredibly intense one moment and remarkably graceful the next. That contrast is one of the reasons his performances remain so memorable. And in Chicago, fans were once again given a glimpse of that signature style. Every movement seemed to have a purpose. Every pose seemed carefully connected to the music. Every transition appeared to carry its own character. The result was a performance that felt polished without losing its emotional quality. But while fans were watching his dancing, another conversation was quietly developing. His fashion. Jimin's relationship with fashion has become one of the most recognizable parts of his public image. Over the years, he has demonstrated an ability to turn clothing into part of the performance itself. A stage outfit is never simply clothing. For Jimin, it can become another form of expression. The silhouette, the texture, the styling, the accessories, the hair, and even the way he stands can completely change how an outfit is perceived. That is what made his Chicago appearance so interesting. The fashion did not compete with the dance. It complemented it. When Jimin moved, the outfit moved with him. When he turned, the silhouette changed. When the lights hit him from different angles, the details of the styling became part of the overall visual experience. It created the impression that the choreography and fashion had been designed to exist together. And this is where Jimin's performance becomes particularly fascinating. He understands the relationship between movement and appearance. A dancer can perform incredible choreography while wearing an ordinary outfit. That is the effect Jimin can create. Chicago therefore became more than another stop on a tour. For many fans, it became a moment that demonstrated why Jimin continues to attract attention from both the entertainment world and the fashion world. His stage presence has a rare quality. It does not feel forced. He can stand still and command attention. He can move rapidly and maintain control. He can smile and completely change the mood. He can look directly toward the audience and create the feeling that an enormous stadium has suddenly become intimate. That connection is difficult to teach. It is built over years of performance experience. And Jimin has clearly developed it. As the performance continued, the crowd reaction became increasingly important. Fans were not simply watching. They were responding. The cheers, the light sticks, the screams, and the collective energy created an atmosphere that reflected just how strongly Jimin's presence can affect an audience. For Army, moments like these are often about more than technical ability. They are emotional memories. A particular movement. A particular expression. A particular outfit. A particular moment when the entire stadium reacts simultaneously. Those are the moments fans remember long after the lights have gone out. And Jimin has a talent for creating them. One of the most remarkable aspects of his performance style is his attention to detail. At first glance, viewers may simply see a powerful dance. But when the performance is examined more closely, The details begin to appear. The positioning of his hands, the angle of his head, the timing of his steps, the way he shifts his weight, the way he uses his shoulders, the control in his facial expressions. These details may seem small, but together they create a distinctive performance identity. That identity is unmistakably Jimin. And Chicago offered another example of it. There was also something else that stood out. Confidence. Jimin appeared comfortable in the spotlight. Not simply comfortable as a performer, but comfortable as someone who understands his own artistic identity. That confidence matters. Because the most memorable performers are not necessarily the ones who execute every movement with the greatest amount of force. They are the performers who know exactly when to use force and exactly when to hold back. Jimin's ability to balance those two extremes has become one of his defining strengths. A powerful movement can be followed by a subtle gesture. A dramatic expression can be replaced by a soft smile. A high-energy sequence can transition into an elegant pose. These contrasts create rhythm even beyond the music. And fashion amplifies that rhythm. The clothing becomes part of the choreography. The hairstyle becomes part of the silhouette. The lighting becomes part of the atmosphere. The audience becomes part of the performance. Everything connects. That is why the Chicago moment felt so visually complete. It was not just about one element. It was about the combination. Dance, fashion, music, lighting, expression, and audience energy. Together, they created an experience that many fans interpreted as another memorable chapter in Jimin's performance journey. But there is a larger reason why moments like this attract so much attention. Jimin has gradually established himself as an artist who can cross boundaries. He is a singer. He is a dancer. He is a performer. These identities do not exist separately. They reinforce one another. His dancing influences how people perceive his stage outfits. His fashion choices influence how people perceive his stage presence. His personality influences how fans interpret both. And his ability to combine all of these elements creates a recognizable brand around him. Chicago provided a powerful showcase of that combination. The performance did not need to rely entirely on spectacle. Jimin himself became the focal point. His movement created the spectacle. His expression created the emotion. His fashion created the visual identity. And his connection with the audience created the atmosphere. This is why some fans describe the moment as feeling historic. Of course, the word historic can mean different things to different people. For some, it means breaking a record. For others, it means reaching a major milestone. And for many ARMY, a historic moment can simply mean witnessing a performance that will stay in their memory for years. By that definition, Chicago certainly had the ingredients for a memorable night. The anticipation, the crowd, the stage, the choreography, the fashion, and Jimin at the center of it all. There was also a sense that fans were watching an artist who had become increasingly confident in his individuality. Jimin does not have to imitate anyone else. His style has evolved. His performance language has evolved. His fashion has evolved. But the core remains recognizable. Elegance, emotion, precision, and charisma. Those qualities have followed him throughout his career. Yet every new performance adds another layer. That is what makes watching Jimin so compelling. Fans know the signature qualities are there, but they do not always know how he will express them next. Perhaps it will be a new dance interpretation. Perhaps it will be a different styling choice. Perhaps it will be an unexpected facial expression that becomes the moment everyone talks about. That unpredictability keeps audiences engaged. In Chicago, the fashion component became particularly noticeable because of how naturally it blended with the choreography. There was no obvious separation between fashion moment and dance moment. Instead, the entire performance felt like one visual statement. The outfit framed his movements. The movements highlighted the outfit. The lighting emphasized both. And the camera, whether from professional footage or fan-recorded perspectives, could capture different sides of the performance. From one angle, Jimin looked powerful. From another, elegant. From another, almost cinematic. That versatility is one of the reasons he translates so well to visual media. A performer can look extraordinary from one specific angle, but Jimin often seems to remain expressive from multiple perspectives. That quality is particularly valuable in large stadium performances, because when the audience stretches across thousands of seats, the performer has to communicate to people who may be very far away. Large gestures help. Strong choreography helps. But personality is essential. Jimin has that personality. Even from a distance, his expressions can remain readable. His posture can communicate confidence. His movements can create recognizable shapes. And his charisma can travel beyond the physical boundaries of the stage. This is part of what makes stadium performances so difficult. The performer must fill an enormous space. Yet Jimin has repeatedly demonstrated an ability to make that space feel smaller. When he focuses on a particular movement, fans respond. When he changes expression, cameras capture it. When he interacts with the audience, the energy spreads. And when he delivers a major dance sequence, the entire atmosphere can shift. Chicago was another example of that phenomenon. The crowd's reaction became almost another instrument in the performance. The music played. Jimin moved.